This is our Trafford straw wine. It's also one of Rita's paintings, but unlike the dry Chenin, we use the same painting each year because the color of the painting just goes so well with the wine. We pick the Chenin Blanc grapes at the same ripeness as our dry Chenin Blanc, in other words at perfect optimum ripeness, and we lay them carefully out to dry on these racks. It's a little different to the European manner typical in France and Italy, where they generally dry the grapes indoors on straw or reeds. Here we use this bird netting, which is far better because we get air underneath the grapes, which reduces the chance of rot. Here under the oak trees, it's shade for most of the day, just the afternoon, little bit of late afternoon sun, and it takes about 3 weeks for the drying process. Once the grapes have doubled in sugar, then we generally consider them ready for pressing. We take the grapes off the rack in the early mornings and up to the cellar for pressing. The pressing is a huge job. It's really difficult to get the juice out of the skins because it's basically a kind of a shriveled, almost raisin, half raisin kind of condition, and it takes at least a day to press a barrel of wine. The advantage of drying the grapes like this rather than leaving the grapes on the vines is that you get the concentration of sugar without losing the acidity. Leaving the grapes on the vines, the acidity drops while the ripening takes place. We also don't get the sort of jammy flavors. It obviously does change the flavor of the grapes, but it just gives a lot more concentration without having a jammy character. The incredibly high sugar content means the wine takes at least a year to ferment in barrel, and we generally keep the wine in barrel using about 50% new oak for about 2 years, so that the wine is completely clear and ready to bottle without filtration. I recommend drinking this delicious wine at the end of the meal, either on its own or with some hard cheese, nuts, or if you are going to pair it with dessert, something quite tart or fruit-based, because it has such great intensity of sugar, and it's really a treat at the end of a meal.